Well, welcome back to the show, Problem Resolved. We're back here, and let me introduce our guest again. Biodun Dabiri is the senatorial candidate for Lagos Central, vying for that position on the platform of the Labour Party. He's right here in the studio, and he's a youth. Like, does it look good? Like,
Good morning.
Good morning again. Of course, you get to see Olayinka Daniels, who went out. Well, I don't employ him, but sometimes I just want to kidnap him and make him a permanent feature on the show. Olayinka, good to see you.
Thank you.
And welcome back.
For having me. Good morning, Thomas.
Yes, we were having a conversation right there about Nigerian youths being ready for the polls. I know there has been a lot of clamor on social media, and a lot of people have been talking about it, and maybe even wondering, to say, they're going to take over. And I heard you say the other time when this conversation began, it's a process. Nothing can be done like that.
Yes, absolutely. Youth involvement in politics would come gradually, and I must say that it's been encouraging.
Okay.
The political landscape, there are certain factors that may mitigate against their involvement. One is the cost of actually participating in politics.
Yes.
The cost of being involved in politics in Nigeria, the way it's structured, is it's absolutely expensive. It costs a lot of money, which the youths may not necessarily have.
Okay.
And you also have the problem of the old order,
Okay.
the Emilio Cons and their likes, who are not susceptible to change. They don't want to change. They want to continue to operate the way they've been operating. But the only thing constant in society is change. So the youths are organizing themselves. The youths are now participating. They are going for their PVC. They are joining the procedural process. Like in my party, we have thousands of support groups made up of young people. And then we have the obedient. So there's a lot of activity. They are even organizing themselves better than the older folks, because they
Within your party now?
Yeah, within my party.
Okay.
They're organizing themselves, providing resources within their means for themselves, and coming out. So it's a gradual process. It's a long-term thing. It's not a sprint. It's more like a marathon. It will take time, but it's encouraging. What we're seeing now is absolutely encouraging, and it's good for the political process, and it's good for the country.
Before we talk about your candidacy, let me come to Olayinka.
Yeah.
He said it's a marathon, and the youths are organizing themselves, even to the point of money is being put together to do campaigns from within. Does that necessarily mean to you that they are positioned properly to effect the kind of change that they're crying for? And the cry is not taking place on the polity, it's taking place on the social media platforms.
All right. I think it's good to clarify something. There's a struggle
Okay.
in form of a revolution,
Okay.
and there's politics.
Okay.
They are two things.
Okay.
Youth has been involved in the struggle of this country as long as we all remember. I've told you before, I was a teenager when I was involved in the struggle of democracy. I was leading protest as a teenager, 1993, 1994. We had a lot of youths that were involved.
Yeah.
We had answers. It's a revolution. It's a, what did I call it? Let me use the word revolution. It's a movement. Now, transpose to what we are seeing today as a movement. That's the reason why I said politics is different from what we are having today.
Okay.
As a struggle by the youth.
Yes.
Now, a particular candidate, a particular politician, let me put it that way,
Yeah.
because he's a politician.
Yeah.
He's moved from different parties and all that.
Yeah.
He's only capitalizing on the movement.
Okay.
That is the reason why I'm saying, there's movement, there's politics. Now, movement, can transpose to politics.
Okay.
And we saw that in France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Macron was a young man. He joined the politics. He was a politician for years.
Yeah.
As a young man.
As a teenager.
In a particular,
He started very early.
Yeah.
very
Even
early
as a
in a
teenager.
particular party.
Yeah.
So it took time. Well, there was a process.
He kept growing along the ranks.
Thank you. So when it got to the point when these leaders, these elders, they are not ready to relinquish, they are not even considering us, then the movement started. Then by the time he was pulling out, they were forming their own party. We all saw the result, the end result, and they got it.
But also,
Years down the line.
but also, we should also understand that the society in which he was operating made it possible for him to achieve what he
What
needed to
they
achieve
did.
within that time.
Okay.
So if you transpose that on our environment, which
Are you
is
saying our environment is not
well,
favorable?
it's not that it's not fair, just slightly different. We live in different climates, our cultures, everything. Our mindset is totally different. So it's a different environment. So yes, the youths have started getting involved. Do you understand? And I think that at the rate they are going, within a couple of years, you see them going for elective position. They're changing the landscape of how. I mean, let me take just a quick one. A candidate comes out and says, "I'm not giving shishi."
And they're giving shishi.
Well,
We've done our investigation.
yeah. I'm not giving
Maybe
shishi.
he's
but-
not giving from his personal pocket.
yeah, but if you say that, it was almost taboo to say that a while ago. You can't
Yeah.
say that. You won't say anybody.
We'll listen to you.
Yeah. So it means that the landscape is changing gradually.
But isn't that a lie, really?
Well, we must define, not giving shishi does not mean that if you want to organize an event that you won't pay for
So
you won't pay the
during-
logistics
so
for the
during
ground.
Christmas-
you won't do that. You have to do all that.
Oh, but during Christmas, shishi was given to people in form of food stuff. As a matter of fact, we had a conversation before Christmas,
Yeah.
and people were asking questions like, so if it were APC that was distributing this rice now, they would say APC is bribing people for votes. But now because it is the Labour Party that is distributing this rice and beans and whatever for Christmas, people, the youth, who go on social media to do this.
Let me
Clarify
that. You know that in a political party, you have hundreds of thousands of members.
Of course.
And each, regardless of the mindset of the party itself and its leadership,
Yes.
you still have members who will do what they feel they want to do.
Yes.
So you cannot. So when you say we don't give you, doesn't mean you can't draw a line and say absolutely nobody. It's impossible because you're dealing with individuals, different mindsets, different positions. So people will do what, and some people naturally give every year, regardless of whether they're in politics or not. I give during Ramadan. I'm a Muslim,
Okay.
so I give during Ramadan, and even on occasions you cook food and you reach out to people less privileged. Even when there's no Ramadan, you give. So it's normal. So how do we now? If I now, because I'm in politics, if I give people can say, but no, it's something I do normally.
No, but it's what your party has been doing.
No. I think that's too much of a blanket saying.
I was going to say, it's some of the things that they say, this party is giving, the way it is right now, it is Labour Party against the rest of the political
I really
parties.
don't want to go into
But I'm only joking.
Back to the youth.
Back to the youth,
Yes.
I think people need to understand this. Youth have always been involved. All the leaders we are talking about today, all the older people we are talking about today, what was the age? What was their age?
When they started.
They were all youths.
Yes.
They started as one. We had the 20-something, we had the 30-something, and all that. So, saying that, it's just that it got to a time, there was a generational shift.
Okay.
Focus were different.
Okay.
The youth, at some point, lost interest. Now, the one that had interest were being used for the wrong things. Yeah, to rig election, to hijack ballot boxes, to they are the agents and all that. You don't see them picking.
Perhaps we should define it as greater youth participation, because, like you said, youths have always been, of course, involved in politics.
Okay.
But also, I can speak for Southwest, where I'm from, and They don't want your people. Your parents don't want you to be involved in politics.
So, is it the
They
fault
don't.
of the political party now?
Well, then it wasn't the fault of the political party. It was
Okay.
both faults of the society, the societal structure.
Okay.
You know, politics was seen as, oh, no, don't you go there. Do you understand?
Okay.
Well, so that also was a problem. Even a couple of years, but about 15 years ago when I started, my mother looks at me and tells me, it's normal.
the
I don't like
reason-
it
the reason-
because she feels that I'm going to come in harm's way because
thank
of
you.
the antecedents.
Thank you. Because the reason why parents will want their children don't go there,
Yeah.
because of what they see in what they think politics is all about.
About.
About the illegalism,
Yeah.
the killings, the
Yeah.
whatever. Nobody wants to lose his own child, you know,
Yeah.
to that. They see all that.
Yeah.
So to them, they rather say don't go in there.
Yeah.
Now, okay, look at what happened during NSAS. Youths came out. They had their demands. The same youths, they were used to truncate that movement.
Yeah.
So now, that's to tell you that all of us, that's another angle to the politics we are talking about.
Yeah.
It's a movement. And that is the reason why I'm saying this movement is not, and don't forget the generation, the ones that are coming out, not our own generation, because our own generation, we have
You mean
experience.
the Soros okay?
This was okay because we had experience. We know we know what value is.
Yeah.
And the training we got when we were growing up has really helped us.
It's still staying with you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So but to them, they want it now.
Yeah.
That is the reason why you see them doing all sorts.
Yeah.
They want results now.
Yeah.
The one that want to make money now. It does not understand that there's a process of getting to wherever it wants to go. They want, and that they
Climbing the ropes or
they
something.
avoid paying a price because they want to get it down. In the end, they get there and still pay a bigger price. Yes, that is what happened. And that is why I'm saying it is a movement. Look, this movement, I'm not saying them coming in, this particular dispensation, winning anything, whatever. But if, and I repeat, if they'll be patient, they'll be calculating,
But
it may take 10, it may take 15, it may take 20 years.
Yeah.
But
But
then
if they are steady, they may be slow and steady, they will get it.
okay, let's talk about structure here, Piotr,
Yeah.
because this is where it affects you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about structure. I carefully looked at social media to figure out how the youth in your party, for example, are campaigning.
Yeah.
Is a lawyer, she's not, you can't be a member of a party, right?
I mean, career.
No, of a particular
But we are
He's the ones that used to abuse people in his party.
Yeah,
So this is it. Now, the people in your party,
Yeah.
people in your party,
Yeah.
both of you operate on different spheres.
Yeah.
Now, you are contesting for election. I carefully looked at social media.
Yeah.
And I discovered that all 90% of campaign
Yeah.
being done on the platform of your party by these young people who are clamoring is being done for Peter Obi, the presidential candidate.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, when they say structure, young people don't understand it, but who is working for you? Do they understand structure at your level?
Okay. You see, let's define structure. What is structure? It's people. Structure basically means people. Now, because in the old days there was very limited participation in politics, then you needed to put people in certain areas as a structure. But now you have greater participation, overwhelming participation. Everywhere at any polling unit, you have people, members of your party, naturally, as voters. They are structure. The people are the structure. So if there's no, unless you have some sort of clandestine motive, then you can be insistent on saying, I must plant people where. But once your members of the party are available at the polling unit, they become your structure there. They stay there and they protect their vote. So it's shifting. It's when you don't have enough participation.
When it comes to campaign, because this
Yes.
is where it comes from.
Yeah.
Remember what I said, campaigning for you. So all of the clamor
Yeah.
for political positions
Yeah.
is 95% centered around the presidential position.
Okay, let me explain that to you.
Okay.
That's because way before this election,
Yes.
Peter, from the minute he resigned as the governor of Anambra State, he's had his mindset, and he's been speaking at events and making his opinions known. So he's well known. Before he came out for president, he was well known. Even when nobody knew whether he would contest for president or not. He was going around and saying, look, we can't continue, we can't. So he's well known. Now, the other candidates, including me, do you understand, also have been campaigning within our own sphere. But as maybe you don't know, I was formerly in the Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party. I was the Lagos State chairman, so our party was proscribed. So I moved to Labour Party because of ideology. I felt that it had similar ideology. So I moved to Labour Party, and yes, I may not have been as well known as him, but now I am well known within all the wards. Because I have
locality.
Yes, because I have been there. I mean, I believe more in grassroots politics. I believe more in knowing me. People should vote for candidates they know, not a poster that someone says that's it. So that's my concept of it. So I go and they know me. They know me.
So that's your strategy to voting.
Yeah. So you see, gradually the other candidates that have come to Labour Party also are being known in their constituencies. And if you're serious about winning, there's no other way. They have to know you. Do you understand? If you're serious. So it's not, I don't post on social media that much because I don't believe that, I come from a party that was technologically driven. We had 60,000 members nationwide. And what we found out, in Lagos we had 8,000. And what we found out was that it was difficult to move people from social media onto the ground. So you can't build that way. You can build from the ground and take them to social media for continuous engagement and information dissemination. If not, because on the internet, you have internet trolls. Young people who are always on the internet, they see something flash up, it looks exciting, they join. We had members who joined the party and we're calling them up after they registered and said, and he has forgotten that, okay, I know. So you have to benefit from it.
Members on paper, not members in physical.
But this is different.
But how does it work in the other political parties? And I'm lumping the others together now because that's the way it is perceived. It's Labour Party against the rest in the eyes of Nigerian youth. How is it done? You see young people on social media campaigning for different candidates. How is it working?
Okay. Well, it's good. Thank God for social media and thank God for what he's doing. But we all know, he said that politics, the best politics you can get is grassroots politics. And what particularly my party and some other parties that I know, the grassroots politics they play, you may not see the effect on social media, though it's there, but you may not see like what the Sorosoke generations are doing.
What they are doing.
On social media. But now the question is, how does it transport? When they had a mini whatever election in Anambra, even Mr. Obi's local government, he couldn't get anything. Yes, he saw it. So he moved. That was when he was in PDP, before he moved to Labour Party. Meanwhile, before that election, the noise on social media, was on fire. So to us, now, when we talk about Sorosoke, in the 2019 election, I was an observer. I was out there, and I saw the number of youth and the other people that came out to vote. Some of these older people are not social media freaks.
Yeah.
They believe in what they see. They believe in what they will do.
Yeah.
Now, if we have those people and they go, in fact, don't even also think the crowd you see that some pay for at different rallies and all that will transpose to number of votes. Because don't forget that this so-called election, by the time it gets to the point, you're still going to go, we're going to talk about accreditation, we're going to talk about valid, invalid, and all those things will happen when it comes to the vote.
The actual election.
Now, you can make so much noise on social media. Does it transpose? Number of people I can tell you that the last time INEC was talking about over 20 million cards that have not been collected, and now they've been telling them go and collect your cards. And in fact, when I pass through some of those local government where they have the INEC office, I see the policemen, I see the staffs and all that, and I'm like, where are these people to collect their cards?
Oh, no, there are lots of people trying to collect their card. In my party, I know we have loads and loads of members who are frustrated with the process of collecting the card.
Why?
Well, because
they can't locate the
no, the card collection is domiciled in the local government office.
Yes.
That is controlled by another party.
How? They don't stop you. I transferred my card for that particular purpose. I intentionally transferred my card from where I live to about 7 local governments away from me.
I will tell you that at least I know that yesterday I had to visit that place and ensure that 22 members of our party got their cards at Etios. I can only speak for where I know.
Okay.
And then the other information that's disseminated through our platforms.
Okay.
You understand? But it's not
Were they
easy.
stopping them?
Well, they won't stop them, but they don't get them. They collect their slip, their names. They go and look for the card, and the minute they see that they are not Yoruba names, they sit down there, and that's where it ends. People have gone to 2 days. Yes, this is a personal experience. I'm not maybe they didn't. You know.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's difficult to make that. I don't like to make assumptions.
Yeah.
But I know that this has happened
out.
to
Bring them out. Let's go on the show.
And they did not, and they didn't get their
bring them out.
I'm telling you, bring them on the show. We will definitely bring them to the
that
public.
I know. Now, perhaps the person there wants something from them. That's why it's not giving them that they should tip them or no. But they haven't been able to get it, and this is true. Reality. That is the choice.
Local government.
So we need to call them out. If we need to call them out, because that is not the purpose of it. They cannot stop. They cannot disenfranchise anybody.
Yeah.
From voting, exercising their civil rights.
So if they need that card,
must give them.
I would just use this opportunity to say that I hope that INEC is doing a great job thus far, and we don't expect to get to the promised land in one fell swoop. I hope that and believe that by the next election, the process of getting the voter's card is simplified, so people can get it effortlessly. I know. So once that is done, it will increase voter participation, and once voter participation increases, then the will of the people will begin to now prevail in elections. If it's overwhelming, it's difficult to manipulate. But if it's not, if very few people have the card, then it's easier to manipulate the election.
Very true.
So this is an appeal. They're doing a great job. We appreciate what they're doing.
Thank you so much to Biodun Dabiri for joining us on the Bumper Breakfast, and Olayinka Daniels. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We will definitely talk some more about this, especially the voters card nonsense that we just heard. It cannot be swept under the carpet. If you've not gotten your voters card and you've been stopped at any point at any local government across Nigeria, we'll open up the phone lines tomorrow, and you get to call in and tell us exactly why they stopped you and what their excuse is. My name is Tomisin Adebukola. Stanley Polika will bring you sports right after now.